If spring has you craving something fresh, something new for your home, how about a front door facelift? Since we're celebrating all colors of the rainbow this week, designer Oviatt, we've asked her to share her top 10 favorite front door colors for spring 2018. I'm excited because I do recognize this as an easy way, I think, a more simple way to update the exterior of your home.
And in spring, we're all thinking, oh, how do we get something new? We get excited about things that are budding and coming up, and so people do get excited about how to refresh their home both inside and out.
Word to the wise, though, you say don't go too crazy.
Oh my goodness, there's so many tips. I don't want to break anyone's heart today, but we're going to kind of go through some good, smart things to think about when you think about updating your front door.
Do we keep it neutral? Do we keep it classic?
Okay, so you have to listen to your house, okay? Like, I wish I were 5'10" like Cindy Crawford. I wish I had olive skin, but you know, we have to deal with what we're dealing with. So just like we talked about a couple of weeks ago on our Building with No Regrets, you have to listen to the style of your home, the colors of your home. Unless you're planning to facelift everything, there are certain things that you just probably need to stay away from, and that is okay.
So you're limited to some extent.
Yes. But in a good way.
Okay, in a good way that will look good at the end, which is the goal. Let's jump into our colors. Our first color is proudly displayed on our Studio 5 door. This is called Qual Tudor House. Why do you like this tone?
Tudor House is great because a lot of the clients that I work with have existing stucco or dark, warm tones in their home, but they're trying to get away from those rust tones and kind of those muddy browns. This is kind of a chameleon color, which I love. It's gray in some light, it's brown in some light, it's not black, which is good.
I'm almost seeing green too.
A little bit of green, I know, it's beautiful. So for me, if you have like wrought iron around the front of your house or dark iron colors like a metal roof or something like that, Tudor House is great because it has that good historical feel without really nodding one color or the other.
I like your qualifier though. It's a way to warm it up without going to the rust, right? Which we try to move away from, I think, especially here in Utah. Next on your list, Benjamin Moore Heritage Red. Why
Heritage
do you like
Red. I feel like we couldn't have a segment without doing like a red door.
You gotta have a red door.
So this is my choice for red, Heritage Red, and it looks great with earth tones as well. I think people want that oomph and that energy that red has, and so I like the Heritage Red for that color. It's not too orange, but it's not too purple, so it's kind of a good, bright barn red. And something else that I want to point out today is, like, if you're feeling like you need that hot, bright color, reinforce it somehow, okay? So you're gonna plant red geraniums in the summer, or you're gonna fill your planter beds with red tulips in the spring.
Don't let the door be the only accessory.
Exactly. So if you have shutters, if you have flower boxes, whatever it may be, if you want a bright hot color, reinforce it somehow. Planters, shutters, planter boxes, your plants, your flowers in the spring.
Golden tip right there.
It helps.
It all come together.
It helps to tie it in.
Okay, there are several blues on the list. This one kind of fits in the medium blue category. It's called Pacific Ocean Blue.
Pacific Ocean Blue. So I love this because, again, it has a lot of warmth and depth to it, but it still really rings true blue. So we're showing it to you with kind of a bright coastal home, but it has that sophistication, which I really like. And I think for years, people have really been into navy, you know, navy and these dark blues. And so for me, if you love navy inside, sometimes it's a great way of saying, hey, welcome to my house, by showing them kind of a sneak preview of what they're gonna find inside.
Nice, it's a little sneak peek. So you point out, as a designer, black is not created equally. You've nailed a really good black for us called Black Beauty.
Yes, I tested like 10 blacks when I was painting my front door, and Black Beauty I love. Okay, the name of it didn't hurt.
Hello,
okay,
that
Black Beauty, we'll take it. But Black Beauty is beautiful because it's not too like a black hole, and sometimes when you paint your front door dark, it can recede. And I think that this color is so beautiful because it has the softness of kind of like a charcoal black, I want to say. That's really hard to describe, but Black Beauty is time tested, and it looks even better if you do it in like a high gloss or a lacquer.
I was going to ask you about the sheen. Does that matter on color to color? Does
yes,
that change?
Absolutely. So it kind of depends on your door. If you have a really seamless, clean, clear front door that will take high gloss paint, high gloss paint shows every flaw. So your door has to be prepped properly, but it's beautiful, it's glamorous. And for me, it's really striking.
Okay, this is on your front door.
Yes.
Black Beauty.
Yes.
All right, Copley Gray, did I say that correctly?
Yeah, Copley Gray. Okay, so for me, this is like a great, beautiful neutral, and we're showing it to you in sort of a neutral space in a neutral home. It feels historical, but I think it could go really well on a brick home too, and on kind of a lighter, maybe more historical home, because it has that depth and sophistication that you want out of gray, but it's not going to scream.
Gotcha. Gray's hard. Gray is
Gray
so
is
tricky.
hard. This one has a little bit of sort of a putty green color, which is why I chose it.
Another grayish tone, Benjamin Moore's Silver Marlin made your list.
Silver Marlin, I love this. Okay, so something that
Whoa, I felt the love.
Really
I felt the love for Silver Marlin.
Well, okay, Silver Marlin is that beautiful sort of robin's egg blue. But I had a friend tell me once, oh my gosh, Lauren, I think the girls in my neighborhood are competing for like the ugliest front door. Okay, which is like, I don't want to break hearts today. But like the first half, let's say you have a fan deck, okay? The first
paint colors.
Paint colors. There's a bright side and a neutral side. Now that bright side, I don't know why it's there, but it should never be used, especially not on the front of your house. So those neutrals, the Silver Marlin, it reads blue. It's a beautiful, soft color. It kind of reads that robin egg without being neon robin's egg. You just don't need that.
So even if you want color, even if you're that person that's like, I want a blue front door, avoid the bright side,
yes,
skew to the neutrals, and they still will pull blue for you.
They read that color without being like, well, whoa, you know, that person loves robin's egg blue. And again, if you need to tie it in, get some planter boxes that have that same shade. You can have the paint store mix for you a spray can of that color. So you can turn paint out of a can into spray paint.
Genius.
Your paint store can do that.
Now, unless you want to win the ugliest door on the street contest and then go to that side of the paint deck, right? Is that it? All right. No, she can't even joke with me. She's like, stop. Just stop. That's not even funny. All right. A white color you like, Sherwin-Williams Alabaster?
Alabaster, yeah. So white homes are all the rage right now, which is so great. They're beautiful and classic and historical. But some people just go too stark bright white. So Sherwin-Williams Alabaster is one I love because it is soft. It still will match with like your stock white windows and a stock white garage door if you are in that budget where you're doing that kind of thing. But Alabaster, it always reads sort of beautiful, soft, without sort of glaring against the sunlight.
We've talked about this shade before, even for interiors, and you like it a lot. The next one, if I understand this correctly, is kind of a blend. You've got the classic gray with the dark walnut stain.
Yeah, so when we think about different house front door colors, I thought we need to throw in a stain because a lot of people are dealing with stain shutters or some kind of wood accents on your garage or somewhere else. So a stain color that I really love is classic gray. This is Minwax. Classic gray 50-50 blended with a dark walnut. And the nice thing about this color is that it has all the warm tones of a kind of a warm espresso, but there's no harsh undertone of green or orange or rust or anything like that. So that gray, even though that kind of might scare someone who loves that kind of character of stain, the gray really takes out and neutralizes that tone.
You're kind of making me fall in love with every single color. This next one taps into the greener side, kind of the mushroom putty side of the color scale, and Avon green.
Yeah, Avon green. So I love this too because kind of like the Copley gray and kind of like that Silver Marlin, it has a neutral, historic, soft undertone. So we're showing you here with like some painted brick and some beautiful landscaping, and I think that you have to consider your surroundings like we talked about. So listen to your home. If you love the look of painted brick or kind of that more European style, then Avon green is a sophisticated, beautiful green tone with depth.
Okay.
Soft.
Okay, you're good at your words. Last but not least, kind of a navy, which my eyes on navy for my front door next.
So this is Hague blue. And I love this color, again, because kind of like that Pacific Ocean blue that we talked about, it has that depth. And this Hague, okay, so it's Faro and Ball is the brand.
Okay.
And they make expensive paint because they have more pigments and more shades than any other paint company makes.
I haven't even heard of that.
You pay a little bit more for this, but the richness and the depth of that pigment is unmistakable. People try to match it and go with it, and you can't. So for this reason, to put this and make this investment on your front door is really smart because you can have that rich dark tone and spend a little bit more and get that beautiful impact out of that navy color.
You have helped us 10 times over. Color for, I think, every house on the block. If people want more design inspiration from you, where can we find you?
So it's LaurenOviatt.com, or I'm on Instagram, kind of sharing my favorite things every day. Well, not every day, just as often as you should.
Balanced. You're a balanced designer, Mom, and all of the above. So we'll link you over to Lauren's Instagram and her website from ours to make it easy. You'll find great design inspiration over there from her.